would like to ask you about the Bitcoin.
Yeah, sorry.
And it's becoming very popular, and and I would like to hear you. It's a kind of protest against the central banks and their power in general, because all the idea came after the financial crisis. This is the first part. The second part, I would like to hear your opinion about the special drawing rights. And,
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, first about central banks, a colleague has said already, the central banks are in a different situation because they have to change their roles. The move from being, so to say, purely technocrats under the monetarist idea, and the monetarist idea gave them the independence because you said it's only a technical question. You have a money supply, you steer the money supply, and that is done by technicians. You don't need political consideration and also on. But as this is dead now, central banks are moving in much more political role because they have, with the interest rate instrument, they're directly influencing politics. They directly influence the government budget through the interest rate policy and so on. And quantitative easing has given them even more leeway to directly influence the long-term interest rate. So today they're very much political institutions, and what we have. And I think it's going in the right direction. If you look at the United States, they have done it even constitution-wise or in a legal, they have put a right legal framework. The legal framework for the Fed says you have to follow, you have to pursue stable inflation plus high employment. That's very important. In Europe, we are lacking the second part, the high employment. But that's a reasonable assignment because that gives the central banker the responsibility to look at both. Just to bring down inflation is very simple. You kill the economy, inflation is down. But that's not the solution for anything. You need to have this balancing of inflation and unemployment on the other hand. And SDR, well, I don't think they do not play a big role at this moment of time. SDRs are. Yeah, because we're not willing to talk what I was talking about at the end about a global monetary system. If we would have a global monetary system, then something like SDR would come back and play an important role. But there is no political will at this moment of time to do that. And unfortunately, I must say, according to our experience in UNCTAD, even the developing countries have not fully understood, in my view, how important that is for them.
I just wanted to ask you about the Bitcoin at the beginning, like...
Bitcoin. Yes. Bitcoin is something terrible. Please go out of it. If you invested, you should go out immediately. It's a very dangerous thing. On these financial markets, I cannot go in depth into that, but on these financial markets that we have, you can trade everything and nothing. And whether it has a real value or not is not important. It's only a question of a bandwagon effect, so people running, the herd running in a certain direction. So it's extremely dangerous to believe that Bitcoin could be a currency or something. It's not a currency. It has nothing to do with the currency. It's just a paper or an idea, and it's not even a paper. It's an idea of a paper that people are trading for because they have fantasy in trading it, but it has it will never will any institution, a strong institution, back this, the value of this paper. So you can lose everything, go into it, you can gain for a moment, but in the end you can lose everything. And in my view, it will collapse. Sooner or later it will dramatically collapse, and then it will be over. Currency is something that has to be issued by the government because it needs an economy, it needs a real edifice behind it, and not just a virtual idea of a certain IT person.
Is this what Macroscope would advise?
Yeah.
To your subscribers?
Yeah, go out, yeah.
أحمد وحازم ومحمود.
ممكن نحكي
In Arabic, okay.
شكرا سيدي على المحاضرة القيمة. اللي فهمناه من خلال المحاضرة أنه هناك انتقادات لبعض مقولات النظرية الاقتصادية الكلاسيكية، وخصوصا موضوع الإنتاجية والأجور ومقولة الادخار والاستثمار وأظهرت البيانات التي تؤيد هذه الانتقادات بشكل يعني رائع. ولكن سؤالي حول الخلاصة اللي خلصت إليها باقتراحات معينة أن تقوم الحكومة بالسيطرة على سعر الصرف وسعر الفائدة، وأن يقوم مثلا البنك المركزي بخلق العملة. وأنهيت محاضرتك بإعطاء وصف للحكومة بأن حكومة جديرة أو حكومة يعني من نوع من مواصفات خاصة. ونجد أنفسنا الآن أمام البحث عن مثل هيك حكومة. يعني كيف لنا أن نأتي بمثل هيك حكومة؟ ربما نجد أنفسنا أمام معضلة أصعب من المعضلة التي بدأنا بها، وهي إيجاد حلول اقتصادية. والمسألة الأخرى، هل ممكن أن نشهد في المستقبل من مركز الاقتصاد العالمي والبلدان المتقدمة تعيين لحكومات على سبيل المثال لوضع وتحديد المؤشرات الاقتصادية الرئيسية؟ هل هذا سيناريو ممكن من أجل تنمية دول العالم الصغيرة والاقتصاديات الصغيرة والتحكم فيها على شكل وحدات منفصلة ومستقلة، والتنازل عن موضوع الانتجريشن والجلوباليزيشن والايكونوميك الاقتصاد السوق التقليدي اللي بنعرفه في النظرية الاقتصادية؟ شكرا.
Yeah, well, that's a difficult question that cannot be answered very quickly. But you see, the point that I'm making is we need a much more open discussion in economics first. That's the first thing. If we would have the discussion, if we would have, for example, the discussion about these balances, we would avoid many, many strange and untenable solutions or dogmas. No? To give up these dogmas is absolutely necessary, because otherwise we will not understand that the world has changed. You see, I showed it in the case of Germany. The world has changed dramatically. With the company sector moving to become a saver, the world has changed dramatically, and we cannot just go on as if we were back in the 60s or the 50s. And this is, but the orthodoxy in economics is not willing to do that. So the first fight, so to say, is for an open discussion in economics. And then the question comes how to transform that into politics. How do we get the politicians? But, well, the only thing I can say, the politicians are the students of some economists. If we get a broader and more open, a freer discussion in economics, we will get sooner or later better politicians, I hope, at least. It is not excluded that it will happen, but I'm not optimistic that we will change it in a very short term. But we have to start fighting for that. If you agree, if you see my points, then we have to start fighting for that and not just accepting all the dogmas that are put on us by traditional economics. Sorry, I cannot give a better answer.
حازم شنار، أنا متأسف إني حضرت متأخر، لكن من خلال الإجابة على بعض الأسئلة اللي قدرت أفهمه إنه يعني في التجربة الألمانية إنه إعادة التناسب أو رفع الأجور نسبة لرأس المال هي التي ساعدت في ازدهار الاقتصاد الألماني. بعرفش إذا أنا وصلت لهاي النتيجة صح ولا لا. بس بنفس الوقت التساؤل هو كيف أنتوا قدرتوا أو كيف يعني أنا بعرفش حضرتك من ألمانيا ولا لا، كيف قدرتوا إنه ترفعوا الأجور وبنفس الوقت تحافظوا على الكومبيتيتيفنس تاعكم، يعني التنافسية تاعتكم في الأسواق العالمية، وتكون هذه يعني هي يعني بنعرف إنه البضائع الألمانية موجودة في كل الأسواق، وبالتالي كيف رفع الأجور من جانب أدى إلى يعني كيف قدرتوا تحافظوا على التوازن؟
Yeah, this is a misunderstanding. I said Germany put pressure on wages, downward pressure on wages, so they reduced wages. It's not a model for the other countries, because putting pressure on wages downward so that wages do not increase is only possible for one country that then increases its competitiveness and, so to say, prospers at the expense of other countries. But this is not a solution neither for Europe nor for the world, obviously, for logical reasons, because not everybody can prosper at the expense of the neighbors. Germany should change back to a system where wages are rising more than they did in the past. That was my idea.
One last question from Mahmoud. تفضل.
اقترحت حضرتك نظام نقدي عالمي جديد، واعتبرت أنه هذا في غاية الأهمية للدول النامية على نحو خاص، وقدرت بأن الأمر لن يأتي بدون حكومات مسؤولة وقادرة، وأشرت بأن هذا هو الأصعب. لماذا هذا أمر مهم في الدول النامية؟ حكومات مسؤولة وقادرة من أجل النضال لنظام نقدي عالمي جديد، بينما هذه هي معضلة كونية وتعاني منها كافة الشعوب في الدول النامية وفي أوروبا ولربما في أمريكا أيضا. أليس من الأكثر صوابية بأن هذه مسألة نضالية لكل العالم أو لكل الشعوب المتضررة من هذه السياسات الاقتصادية؟ شكرا.
شكرا.
No, that's what I meant. I meant for the whole world. We need it for the whole world, not just for developing countries. But I said it's particularly important for developing countries because developing countries are much more vulnerable to the speculation waves that we have seen in the currency markets in the past. No? If you look around, you had many countries were hardly hit by speculation with currencies, including South Africa, including Brazil, Argentina, and many, many others. So this has to be avoided. The whole Asian crisis in '97 was a speculation crisis, and this should be avoided. And that is why developing countries should push for, if they are pressed to open their markets and open their markets for capital, they need the assistance of international institutions, reasonable institutions, because otherwise they are not able to stem these waves of speculation into their currencies that happen time and again.
Professor Flasbeck, thank you very much. I'd just like to not only thank you for coming to Mass, but also for your time to spend a few more days to visit Palestine a bit, and to also, I think, have a seminar with Birzeit students more specifically on the Euro crisis. And please join us for a light snack.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.